Here comes a new challenger!
Hello there everyone, and welcome to a video long time coming, the Ryu analysis. I've been avoiding making the Ryu analysis for quite a long time because, I really don't like giving my opponents ideas of ways of beating my mains, because I feel like if you're gonna be my main, hey, you should learn that matchup on your own. And besides, for me, it's like, I make analysis on characters because I want to show the strengths and weaknesses of those characters. But when it comes to it, I feel like it's only fair that I finally cover Ryu, my main, the character I think is better than Ken, I think is better than Terry. I think this character is high tier, potentially a gateway to top tier. And of course, I feel like it's time that I finally cover Ryu. And I hope that, you enjoy. This is gonna be pretty in-depth, so just, I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go. Alright, so as you can see, we went to Wuhu Island. I just wanted a change of scenery, for Ryu, the open islands, as you can tell. And so let's get over, let's just do this Ryu analysis quick and easy. There's a lot to go through, but not that much. Alright, so first, our jumps, pretty high, as you can tell. Short hops are kind of like whatever, it's what it is, but your full hops, pretty decent. All right, now movement, you're kind of slow on the ground, but you have very strong zoning options. All right, so like obviously this is your, no wait, hold on, sorry, wrong one. So this is right here is your Hadouken. All right, and then this right here is your Shakunetsu. All right, and then here's Shakunetsu when you just keep throwing it out, because you can throw out the projectile and it can do massive damage, all things considered. So really you just want to like rapid fire this every time you have the opportunity to. Of course, you can't just fire one after like another like in quick succession. So like when you fire like a fireball, right, obviously it's going to take some time before you fire the next one. But overall, the damage is pretty strong, and using it as an overhead is really effective, all things considered. So you really want to be careful on how you utilize your tools, because obviously you're not always going to have access to them, right? When the projectile is out, you have to wait till it disappears, and now you have access to it. But luckily, you have your your close range options. Now for close range, most of the time it's very strong, up close options, though you really have to appreciate your disjoints as well. Like your F tilt here is incredible. Okay, it's a disjoint, it's essentially invincible. All right, things go right through it. It's better than Terry F tilt, I'll tell you that much. All right, this thing literally beats out everything. It's a sword essentially, and you can combo into and out of it, of course, just like with any strong weapon. If you are super up close and you're too close, it's not gonna do a lot of damage. All right, you want to do your if you're gonna do it up close, it isn't gonna work all too well for you, because then they can punish you for just throwing it out in their face. So you really gotta space it, right? That way you don't take damage while dealing damage yourself. You get those combos as well, right? So that's a little bit of how to utilize your F tilt. Of course, you have collarbone breaker. So like when you collarbone breaker someone, they really feel it. All right, you just gotta smack them on top of the head, and hopefully it'll work. Of course, you always gotta rely on your overheads. All right, and once you're overhead, all right, here you go. Once you're overhead, gotta be wary. So here we go. Here's our collarbone breaker. All right, 1, 2 over the top, and it breaks shields. It's crazy. And once you break their shield, obviously you go for the high damage right in their face. There's not much they can really do about it. And well, once it comes to it, the damage they take, it's pretty gonna be substantial. Once you break their shield, you can get like 60 to 70, even 80% off of just one shield break. It's quite insane the damage Ryu can output. A lot of people think Ryu can't do damage, but I disagree really. Ryu's damage output is quite impeccable. I'd say it's even better than Ken and Terry's damage output. It's just that Terry kind of puts you in scary situations, but what people don't realize is Ryu's conditioning. Ryu's conditioning is actually very powerful. I would say one of the best in the game, because you just throw out projectiles and you're forced to jump, you're forced to dodge. Even at times you're just supposed to take it. All right, even if you try parrying it, you're just gonna get hit and there's nothing you can do about it. All right, but luckily we have our, we have a full shield, so like when opponents try to get to us, they'll obviously hit us, but once they get in, they're gonna have to face the tell them, Ryu. All right, so DPing out of shield ain't too bad. Up B out of shield, though, you don't want to do the actual input because you will just get hit. Unfortunately, it was nerfed to be 4-frame invincibility, frame 6 hit, but before it used to be frame 3 hit, frame 1 invincibility. It's unfortunate, but whatever. Smash 4 is the ye old days. Now we're in Smash Ultimate, so of course there are other options here. Obviously, if you know how to utilize your low options. So here's your this is like you spamming down tilt, pretty quick and safe-ish option. Of course, when spamming this, you can always switch into focus. All right, and that's very strong because focus is frame 1, and that's a very powerful tool to have. You can essentially use in disadvantage, for advantage, in neutral. It's a great tool. Like, I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you want to use focus? And of course, this is essentially heavy down tilt. Heavy down tilt, again, very strong, very good poking tool. All right, did you know it comes out in frame 6? All right, and it's it's got some meaty range to it. Of course, if you need to anti-air, luckily I got you. Okay, so we have some anti-air tools. All right, so again, this is kind of like your up tilt, right? Your weak up tilt, but luckily you got your heavy up tilt. All right, and of course, if you spot dodge, you can do something like spot dodge, proximity jab. When you get that proximity jab, it's quite explosive, all things considered. Okay, it deals massive damage, and of course, because they don't really go anywhere, you can just end it with a you can just end it with a Shoryuken. All right, so after that heavy proximity jab, you want to go for a Shoryuken. Nice damage. Of course, if you mess up, if you don't get the proximity jab, you will of course sadly just get roundhouse kick. Not the best. All right, no one wants to get roundhouse kick, and also just be wary that your 1-2-3 jab isn't always the greatest. I mean, you see that, like, the first and second hit connected, but because of how the second hit is, it pushes them so far away at times that the third hit or even your nice Shoryuken isn't really gonna land, which is very unfortunate. You really just want to deal your damage. You really just want to reset them, because resetting is also another very strong part of Ryu's game plan, and I feel like people really aren't utilizing that all too well, in my personal opinion. Of course, when it comes to grabs, your grabs aren't really the greatest. You'll send them over there, up there. Sometimes you'll launch them up, right, and sometimes you'll hit them down, though you can get guaranteed confirms on fast folders. Luckily, there are a lot of good characters that are fast followers, so down throw, proximity jab into Shoryuken, or if they try to air dodge away, you can go for Shakunetsu and get some massive damage. And Shakunetsu, I mean, it's basically just light hits into heavy hit, because it's essentially a move that's like, it has like 4 hitboxes stacked one on top of each other. It's very nice. It deals a lot of damage, and the best part is because since they get hit with the initial hitbox, is very weak damage. If they try saying revenge or bucket or whatever the case may be, the damage you'll take from those aren't going to be that great. Whereas if you use obviously Hadouken, obviously you're going to be in trouble. So you want to be careful about stuff like that. All right, a few other tidbits is of course Tatsumaki Senpuken. So when you use your Tatsumaki Senpukaku, you got to be mindful that small characters can't go under it, but you can also go over projectiles, so just be mindful of that when you use your Tatsumaki Senpukaku, even on the ground. All right, you got to use your Tatsumaki. All right, Tatsumaki is very important, guys, and be mindful. It can beat out a lot of things, things like Cloud F Smash, Byleth F Smash as a bonus. You can go over essentially disjointed smash attacks. You could also beat out characters with say Pikachu Thunder can get beaten up by Tatsumaki. It's a very powerful tool, even if someone tries to throw out a move, you can throw out Tatsu and you'll probably beat them out because you have invincibility on your legs, and since it's really hard to basically hit Ryu, it's very strong. Though be mindful that if they shield it, they can hard punish it, but luckily most characters can't grab you out of your Tatsu. All right, so if they try to go for a grab, they'll most likely whiff it depending on the character. All right, and you know what, let's see. Oh, another thing that you should know is that sometimes you want to fake out your Shoryuken, okay? Because sometimes going for heavy Shoryuken all the time, all right, you know, going for heavy Shoryuken all the time really isn't the greatest thing ever, okay? Because I mean, heavy Shoryuken, I mean, it's great and all to throw out, but you'll get punished once you land. So you really want to make sure you go for a light Shoryuken, all right, or medium at the very least. And so you're baiting them to try to punish you, all right. But once they try to punish you, of course, you hit them with the meaty, heavy Shoryuken. It's a really good to just throw out light or medium on occasion, because they'll just have a hard time punishing you. And if you do the input, you get less landing lag. So it's very strong tool. Let's see, when you're trying to recover, please make sure not to waste your double jumps, because once you waste your double jump, you're put in a very bad position. But luckily, there are ways you can cover your double jump again using the double jump focus. All right, you'll rise with focus. Of course, you got that one-hit armor, and a lot of areas won't really go through it, so you're pretty much safe. And then you can just dash cancel it and get onto ledge. It's insane the type of potential Ryu has, and I feel like people really aren't giving Ryu enough credit. I think Ryu has a lot of strengths. I think Ryu personally is he's very good at conditioning you, zoning you out, and he has really good up close buttons, you know what I mean? Whereas like with Ken, it's pretty much just like all up close, and Terry's just there to scare you, and once he successfully frightens you, you're kind of just afraid to do anything. And I don't blame people for being afraid of getting hit by Terry. You know, sometimes we all make mistakes, just like what I'm doing right now, giving you my ability, like giving you things that I really shouldn't tell you, because now you could potentially play me and beat my Ryu. All right, and there are people that can beat my Ryu, but you know, especially now that people may know my weaknesses, it's kind of unfortunate, you know. And we should go over disadvantage, of course, if other characters have better disjoints. You know, swordies can be a problem because your up close buttons don't really work, but luckily, you, like I said, you still have Hadouken, and Hadouken has a lot of priority. All right, whereas Shakunetsu has very little priority. All right, but you can't just jab it, because if they try to jab it or try to nair through it, obviously, then you can punish them. Like if Marth tries to nair through a fireball, you could just go, yeah, well, all right, down air, all right, down air, you know, like proximity jab into Shoryuken. That's a nice like 40 damage right there. All right, so be mindful on how to utilize your tools. Of course, if you crumple your opponent with focus, you can always go for one of two things. If you get level 3 focus, you'll always guaranteed, all right, a taunt. All right, so you can get a taunt once they're in level 3 focus knockdown, and then you can just, you know, punish them, not punish them, but successfully get a proximity jab into Shoryuken, and they'll kill, you know, especially kill ranges, of course. However, on Elite Smash, if you want, you can always just go focus 2, focus 3, and then teabag the opponent, and then finish it off with a Shoryuken, of course. Hey, whatever suits you best. Me personally, I like the taunt option, because the taunt option really just shows Ryu's, you know, personality. It's very satisfying to land, in all honesty. And focus 3, for those who don't know, also go through shields. All right, so like my shield would be ineffective against it. It also goes through counters. I don't know if you guys knew that. And yeah, level 3 focus is pretty powerful. It also has pretty big hitbox, like as you can tell, pretty big hitbox. So honestly, I really suggest giving Ryu a try. I promise you, he's very much worth your while. Yeah, he may seem like he has a lot of weaknesses. Yeah, he may seem like, oh, he's not Terry, or he's not DLC, but trust me when I say this, Ryu is a very strong character. Ryu has a lot of strengths, and I feel like people just aren't using those strengths to their advantage. So please be mindful, especially on platforms. He's very strong, and especially on large stages, he's very strong, because then you're forced to approach him. He doesn't have to approach you. Ryu's he's scary, all right? And it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, Ken got crazy combos, and Terry can move around everywhere. All right, that's the machine brain working, all right? It's not working at all. There's an oil leakage somewhere there. All right, don't trust Terry and Ken mains. Trust in the Ryu main, all right? Ryu mains know exactly what they're talking about, because Ryu mains, they're the type of players that at least know what they're saying, except Vendetta. Vendetta kind of got some spicy hot takes, all right? But for the, and Deuce sucks, all right? Deuce is just a really bad Ryu player. Don't go to him for Ryu, okay? But if you really want to learn Ryu, all right, Ronin X, very good. Shoto player, right, and Terry player. Who else? If you want to see some good Ryu action, hey, you know what? Check out, man, a Sandstorm. He played Ken and Ryu, and his Ryu was dominating like crazy. And then quarantine happened. It was unfortunate, right? And that was before, like, I think Byleth, and so before, like before then, you know, Ryu got like crazy buffs in that patch and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, Ryu's just probably gonna keep getting more and more buff. So keep saying he sucks, because I'm gonna body you even harder, and I'm gonna laugh at you, I'm gonna mock you, I don't even care. I'm gonna taunt on you, alright? I'm gonna hit you with this nice Shoryuken, and that's gonna be your fault. But with that all being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. I know Woohoo Island's kind of like a weird stage to pick for this, you know, but I just wanted to change the scenery, and I hope that you guys really did enjoy the video. So like I said, please take care of yourself. Please have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you're staying safe out there, especially during this pandemic, you know. But you know, vaccines are coming in and it'll all be good. So you know what, hopefully when offline tournaments come, Ryu also returns. All right, so I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
I'm coming through, partner, we can do this right. You're the fire, I'm the wind tonight. Burning dread, haha, that's right.